Fifth ranked lightweight contender Islam Makhachev is on an 8-win fight streak and is looking to continue on his journey to the title. Up until this point, Islam has been criticized for the level of opponents on his resume. If we look at a chart that shows the current top 15 lightweights and their record against each other, Islam is 2-0. Those 2 wins are against the 12th and 14th ranked lightweights, which leaves a lot to be desired. In my opinion, these 2 wins will age very well in the next 2 to 5 years. However, for now, it isn't the most impressive stat. What impresses the MMA world, rather, is the skills and abilities Islam possesses. Islam's next challenge will be his hardest up until this point. He will be finally stepping into the pool of the ever-evasive top 15 lightweights, and he will face RDA. Before we go any further, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. If you want more, let us know down in the comments below. Your support is much appreciated on our journey to 1 million subscribers. RDA is probably the most accomplished fighter that Islam Makhachev will ever face in his career. Now, these guys were supposed to be booked for 2 separate occasions, and both of them got cancelled. The first was because of RDA, and the second is because of Islam Makhachev. Islam Makhachev was a little sick. I forget what it was, but his whole camp was having issues. It was back when Khabib was also supposed to fight, and then he got measles, I believe. But anyways, Islam Makhachev is facing RDA, and RDA is the most accomplished fighter that he's ever faced. RDA is a lightweight champion, former lightweight champion. He's moved up and down between divisions, has very, very big names on his resume. He has wins over Don Cerrone, which probably now doesn't mean as much, but he has wins over Don Cerrone. He has wins over Anthony Pettis, Robbie Lawler, Nate Diaz, Neil Magny, and the list just keeps going on and on. He is a little bit older. I believe he's 36 or 37 years old, so he's at the tail end of his career. He's jumped around from camp to camp. He was at King's MMA, I believe, and now he's somewhere else, but he's been around the world. He's done a lot. He's accomplished a lot, and he's really honed in what he is as a fighter, what he's able to do. His strengths, his weaknesses have been kind of set in stone. Currently, he's 30 and 13, and he's been facing a lot of high-skilled fighters. Of those 13, a lot of them are still up in the mix. You got guys like Eddie Alvarez, who's still world class, that beat him. You got Leon Edwards that beat him as well, 170. One thing that has always held back RDA ever since he won the 155 title was his size. He would go up into 170, but he was like a little bit smaller than everybody else at 170, and even at 155. There's guys that cut weight and are just stronger, and they impose themselves a lot better when it comes to their grappling exchanges. RDA is a decent grappler. He is black belt on the floor. He knows what he's doing on the floor. He rarely, I don't think he's ever got submitted, if I'm not wrong, but his struggle is, how do I prevent getting taken down? And when he was at 170, these guys were taking him down very, very easily. Main reason why was because they were just so much bigger than him, and his defense was typically the same approach that a lot of fighters have, is put your back against the fence, wizard, try to just use that cage as leverage to prevent the guy from taking you down, and then escape whenever you have a chance. Now we'll have a video that goes into detail of Islam versus RDA. I'm not sure if it's up yet, but it has more instances from fights that show what RDA's strengths and weaknesses are. Now, not to completely trash on RDA, what he is really good at is he will constantly come forward and he will throw huge shots. Now, these shots are like, a lot of fighters haven't been able to take them, where he loads up on these shots. He doesn't throw too many combinations. He does throw them here and there. But what really separates him is his pace, his ability to come forward and hit his opponent with heavy strikes. And then if this opponent comes on the ground, he's able to either sweep them or stand back up eventually. One thing that is forgotten since his lightweight title is just his durability. This guy doesn't get finished. He goes for these. He lasts 5 rounds with a lot of these guys. A lot of it is because you can't really submit him because he's black belt. He's a black belt on the ground, and if you try to wrestle him, he will just try to stand up and wear you down that way. He tries to make you make consequences for you trying to take him down. Now, do I think Islam Makhachev will be able to beat RDA? I think so. RDA is a guy that comes forward and he will try to impose his will. Islam Makhachev will stay back, avoid the shots, and try to take him down whenever he has a chance. One thing that goes into RDA's favor when it comes to his weaknesses is RDA constantly has problems moving backwards and fighting. That was his biggest thing. Even when he won the lightweight title, it was, how does he do when he goes backwards? How does he do when he is on the back foot? And a lot of guys that faced him and beat him took that into account. That's how they beat him. Is they made him go backwards. Makhachev did that. Makhachev made sure that RDA was on the back foot, and anytime RDA tried to collide or try to close the distance, he would grapple him and take him to the ground. Now, Islam Makhachev doesn't go forward. He will not go forward. That's just not his game plan. Now, people always compare him to Khabib. They're completely different fighters. Islam Makhachev will sit back, will counter, will try to hit him here and there, leg kick, body kick, head strike. But for the most of the time, Islam Makhachev waits for the other guy to go first. And when the guy comes first and overcommits, he goes for the clinch, he goes for trips. He doesn't really go for takedowns against the cage, but he might have to in this fight because RDA will default. He will just go right back. He'll just defend the takedown to the point where his back is to the cage, and then he will take a break there. He'll go for a Kimura. He'll go for a sprawl, whatever it may be. Islam Makhachev has faced guys that have better wrestling than RDA, have probably had better striking, but they haven't really fought a guy of RDA's caliber that has this complete package. Yes, his wrestling is weak. But he doesn't. He's still a champion, former champion. He has been in these 5-round fights before. He has faced top world-class jiu-jitsu players on the ground and survived and tapped other ones out as well. Islam Makhachev is going to have his biggest test up until this point. Now, is RDA going to be the toughest ever that Islam will have? Probably not. Of the people that are in the top 10. RDA is probably the easiest fight. No disrespect to him. It's just RDA has had his time. He's had his time to try to fill in the holes in his game, but unfortunately he hasn't been able to do that. After this, it may be a title shot. It's always good from a marketing standpoint to beat a former champion to get a title shot. But you never know what happens. It all comes down to the right time for Islam. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And if you want more, let us know down in the comments below. What do you think happens? Do you think RDA is going to beat Islam? And is Islam going to have his toughest test in front of him with RDA? Let us know down below.